Well, hello. Let's look at Andor, episode 1 through 3 today. I did some binging, uh, but I probably shouldn't have. But hey, here we are bringing you content. Overall, watchability is pretty darn high. I had high expectations because of my liking of Rogue One so much. This didn't disappoint um, for any of the 3 episodes. It's far different than any of the other TV shows that Star Wars has put out recently. Um, by the way, this is a non-spoiler first part. Spoilers in the second part. Um, the I think the biggest change, besides no sand. Sorry, Mando. Sorry, Boba. Sorry, Obi-Wan. No sand right now in the first 3 episodes. So it's at least that's changed. No, I think the biggest thing is music at this point. Um, and it doesn't take away from the Star Wars lore, the typical Star Wars music, but you can just feel even in between scenes, um, and the main theme, and then at the end. I mean, it is just a different feel altogether. I think the music plays a lot into that. Um, Visually, a lot of it. If you've never watched Star Wars before, I don't know if you would have known this is Star Wars at this point. I mean, it looks like kind of a sci-fi espionage thing. There's obviously mention of the Empire, rebellion, etc. But there's no Jedi. There's no Mando. I think part of the thing that grips us regarding Rogue One, and now it's going to be regarding this show, is it's almost, and I say almost because it's obviously fiction. It's almost more relatable because there's still some aliens, there's some weird animals, involved, but there's less. There's you're not seeing a Mandalorian walking around. There's no Jedi. There's no Sith. Um, so it's kind of I feel like that's kind of the feel. Is It's just different in a good way. It was we needed a kind of shift from the main kind of core. I mean, Mando was a different show altogether. That was nice not being in the Jedi and Sith kind of or Empire mindsets. Now this is even more different, differenter. Just kidding. Uh, so it's just nice, nice in that sense, but not nice overall. Like it's not like a happy-go-lucky TV show. There's a lot of action, you know, I'm not going to get into the spoiler bits right now, but um, there's a lot of action. You know, it's it's slow, but it's not. I don't feel like it's as slow as the other shows are as well. There are some points where you see him walking around, but I mean, it's for a reason. It's not to time kill. At this point, for episode 1 through 3, which there shouldn't be time killing at this point. Um, it's just a kind of a faster paced show. You're getting a lot into it. It's just enjoyable. I highly recommend watching it. Um, and I'm really looking forward to the next few episodes. I think they're weekly now, though. Not We were spoiled with 3, mostly because we were not spoiled with a late release. But now they should be coming out weekly. This is going to be into a spoiler zone, so if you haven't watched, I'd go ahead and like, subscribe, and drop the video. Um, so for episode 1, we're already starting out with sort of a premise, I guess. Looking for a sister in a nightclub. It makes you wonder if this is one of the story plot lines. I mean, granted, it's the first scene in the show, so very likely it's a it's a subplot. Um, Two guys were harassing Cassian as he's in the bar. He doesn't necessarily get what he wants. He leaves, and they continue to harass him, accidentally kills him, and it kind of leads, well, and then kills the other officer and escapes off world. leads into a whole world of circus. One thing is you see new animals already that I haven't seen before. It looks like they're incorporating the Lion King's Pumbaa a little bit in some of these, maybe a fiercer version. But it's like a dog warthog kind of mixed together. That's what I got from it. And then we see Cassian with his droid. He loves his droids. I don't think we'll get K2SO in this season, maybe season 2. But we get this new one that kind of reminds me of Wally as he's going around. So you got a couple Disney references, not really, but I'm gonna force them anyway. Learned that Cassian, as a kid, his real name is Casa or Casa, and he's from Canary. Different looking world, kind of a jungle planet, um, which again is a nice, it's just different from the others. And we see flashbacks of him and his, I don't know if you want to say friends or survivors or other children, and keep it at that. But they're all at a young age. And then we see a reference to his friend that he is trying to get an alibi going, and a nice little playful continuation of there as well. So kind of looking forward to seeing how that semi-sarcastic friend is. And then kind of end the episode with the security guard, or corporate security, sorry, talking to his boss. He reminds me of, and I can't remember the show from the, I think early 2000s. It's a meme somewhere now, but it's like Little Big Town or something like that. He kind of reminds me of that guy. But anyway, we see him talking, and his boss is kind of trying to push the 2 deaths of the officers under the rug, and make up a story about what happened. Don't exaggerate too much, but we'll kind of go from there. But this corporate security guy was not having it. So he, as soon as his boss left, he's kind of like, all right, let's see what we can do. He's kind of whiny. he's kind of whiny. I mean, he looks like a goody two shoes kind of type, with a whiny personality. So we'll kind of see how that continues. For episode 2, the guy that rings the bell at the beginning and then a little bit later on in the middle seems to really enjoy his work as the guy that just bangs and wakes people up. The bell ringer, I don't know. It does look like a kind of fun job. I mean, your ears would go numb and your hands would probably go numb a little bit, but we saw the glove wall, and then we saw the glove wall again with the foreman or the so when I saw it the second time, I was like, all right, so what is this foreshadowing? Because normally we don't see a focus in on a detail like that multiple times. What's to come? I mean, in episodes 1 to 3, I don't think we're getting much out of that, but what's to come? You see his I don't know how close his friend and he are, but it looks like, I mean, he rats him out after looks like he's a little jealous of Cassian's relationship with Bix, doesn't know what's going on there, and turns him into the Empire or security. I don't, he's a sketchy character already within a very brief amount of time. I guess not too surprised. We get to see more of Cassian's mom-like character, Marva, and then kind of wondering what's to come because you see a little glimpse of her in his room. Then we have a flashback again. You see hints at Cassian's like curiosity and his rebellion overall, where he sees, you can see it in the kids. The kid's actor is pretty good. I mean, quite honest with you. His facial expressions when he's acting, when he's like looking back and like concerned, or if he's just taking everything in. You really get that with this character, with Casa. Um, Casa. I can't get to that. Um, and so like I said, the eyes kind of tell the story with this kid. He looks like he wants to continue exploring. Um, the corporate security, I feel like, had a good conversation with the security guy, the lead of the security that's going to go to find this Cassian after they did a lot of searching. Um, the speech between those two seemed actually pretty good. With like, all right, yeah, this is what I want. I want a more aggressive team, and I want things swept under the rug. Then when he's actually with the team that's leaving to go find Cassian, it just falls flat. I'm a little shocked at that. I don't know why he was okay with speaking beforehand, and now he's not able to speak. I kind of don't understand that part. We get a nice quote: is if you can't find anything on this planet, it's not worth finding at all. When we finally are introduced to Skarsgård's character on the passenger flight, um, and talking with this random guy that probably is going to come back as somebody else. But we finally get him, and then drums and a little bit of rock music. So I'm coming back to that theme of we're seeing different music here. And I can't say it fit, but I can't say it didn't fit. It's just different, and I'm not used to it for Star Wars. Trying to get that mindset where I almost want to say it's not Star Wars, just so I can enjoy it, watch it, and kind of go from there. But it's just different. I personally, I think I liked it. The kind of the rock kind of jam at the end of that episode 2. So episode 3 again hints at Cassian's curiosity, especially as his colleague, the leader of his kid pack, dies. And you get to see the yellow / orange, gold. I don't know what color they are. I may be partially colorblind. So as he's exploring, he, instead of going with his kids that are leaving with the body of their friend, he goes in the ship and starts exploring, of course, because that's Cassian. Maybe that's his catchphrase. That's Cassian. I doubt it. Anyway, so you see him exploring, and you see just how yellow their faces are. And at the end of episode 2, when Cassian, or maybe start of episode 3, but when he's asking the guy to set up a shuttle for Cassian to leave the planet, unnoticed, no questions asked, he does mention that his old planet, the one they're flashing back to, is had some decimation, had some infection, or had some leaks or something, and maybe that ship is part of the reason that the rest of the planet was gone. Considering they're pretty yellow, and I don't think it was supposed to be an alien species. I think that's what we have to believe it's going on. Anyway, he gets rescued by his mom-like character, Marva, and I'm gonna assume her husband. I don't think it was mentioned that they were together, but at the end of episode 3, he mentions that his dad died or got hung. So I'm assuming that they were together, and that's his dad. Trying to put 2 and 2 together. See more of Luthen, Skarsgård's character. Get his name first off, and then sees that he's the connection with Bix. And they meet up, and like their relationship, Bix and Luthen's, is pretty good. Skarsgård can take control of any scene, I feel like, and I'll just watch, and I'll be okay with them. We see the corporate security leader kind of look around when he lands, like he's been there before, like he's nervous, but almost like he's hiding something as well. So I don't know if he's from that planet, if he's just completely petrified of what the hell did I start, why are we coming here after I was told not to? Why am I coming here to look for a guy with 12 guards that killed 2 of my guards that were doing a lot of things that they weren't supposed to be doing, all for this one individual, Cassian? I don't know. So we also get the Blues nickname, so we'll see if that continues on or if it's just the planet calling them Blues. Their security uniforms were a little off, but that's all right. So Cassian meets up with Luthen to go over a deal, and Cassian kind of foreshadows Rogue One, where he mentions that the way he got his little box is he just dressed up as the Empire and walked in and acted like he belonged there, which is kind of similar to some of the Rogue One, with him walking in with his black suit, and it's just kind of funny how that kind of plays out. And then soon after his little speech, it looks like Luthen and Cassian are going to be recruited together, going to be good buddies. It was a good little banter between the two. Again, looking forward to that relationship building out. It already is in a good spot. And then we are looking at the heat that gets turned on when the security team knows that they're in there. The action in that scene did accelerate a little bit. A lot of action in there in that warehouse with explosives and boxes falling and everything else. And we see Tim, the traitor, die right in front of Bix. It almost looks like he knew what he's going to do. He was going to get shot, and he did it anyway, probably because he had a lot of guilt. That's my assumption. Tell me I'm wrong. Anywho, we get Luthen and Cassian with a getaway vehicle. Oh, but it's not. That's a diversion. And then they take off on a speeder bike. It's quite the diversion. Got the security team smiling that they captured him or that they killed him. And then you just see the security leader is just in shock. He's like, what happened? I just killed so many of my own men that tried to do this. And so is he going to be decimated? Is he going to get ridiculed? Or is he going to come back and be the heart of the Empire? What's he going to be? How's he going to recover from this? And then you get the violin music. And that gets you. Again, going back to the music. The music's just different in this in such a good way. The music captures a lot of emotion here, like it always does, right? I love music, especially violin. But so you get that feel, especially when Bix is trying to escape and sees her lover boy liar pants dead. And it just comes together, and then you see a flashback of Marva with Cassian, and you see her crying in the chair as an older lady, and like, is she gonna see Cassian again? Who knows? Lots of emotion in this kind of thing. And then you go back to Cassian's friend. I forget his name already, but Casso. A lot of Casses. And he's like, he was in the start. That's the sarcastic friend. Kind of glimpsed over in a few things, and then you see him again in the end, drinking at the bar. Like, what is his role? He hasn't had a lot, so there has to be something else, right? But that's kind of it. That's where we are at in episode 1 through 3. I'm assuming we'll see Mon Mothma here shortly, and that'll be exciting to get to that moment. I mean, she's in the trailers, so that's bound to happen. But let me know your thoughts on episodes 1, 2, or 3, or all 3. Did I miss anything? I mean, are you bummed about anything? I feel like this is a nice little change of pace for Star Wars universe. So we'll catch you sometime.